What's up everybody and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. And I'm really excited when cool stuff happens to me twice in one day, so I'm gonna pass that along to you guys. I'm gonna work overtime so that I can get 2 reviews out in the same day. As you guys already know, the Marvel Universe is a fascinating place, especially the multiverse, which means multiple versions of the same character, relatively speaking, especially as it relates to spider people. For those of you who have been reading comics for years, you'll know that Gwen Stacy is really one of the great loves of Peter Parker. Unfortunately, Earth 616 is not too kind to Gwen Stacy. Having been kidnapped by the Green Goblin and during the ensuing rescue, Gwen Stacy fell from the George Washington Bridge. In an attempt to save her life, Spider-Man inadvertently snapped her neck, forever tormenting the web-slinger. See what I mean? Earth 616 was not a happy place for Gwen Stacy, but never fear because the multiverse is filled with infinite possibilities, and in Earth 65, she actually has the same story as Peter Parker, and ultimately becomes Spider-Gwen. And in our version of Earth, I have something really cool. Today we're going to be reviewing Mondo's version of Spider-Gwen. Let's take a closer look. Now, as if the alternate timeline wasn't cool enough, one of the best things about Spider-Gwen is definitely the overall design of her costume. It was cool and I like that she's rocking a hoodie. It's very 21st century, so to speak. Now, one of the great things about this head sculpt is that they got the right shade of white right. And I know that sounds very weird, but it's often sometimes opaque and sometimes it even yellows a little bit. This looks great. I especially like the shading around the eyes. Most importantly, I love that the eyes are bulging just a little bit, very similar to what we see in the comics. This is great. This wonderful attention to detail also extends to the upper torso and midsection of this piece. Now, you'll notice there's a lot of textures and a lot of colors at play here. I absolutely love those patches of magenta, and they're accented brilliantly by the webbing in that kind of robin's egg blue. It looks fantastic, guys. Most importantly, what's really striking about this piece is you have that black kind of suede look on the rest of the costume, which looks freaking great. Now, this piece is definitely going to appeal to millennials, or anybody who's on Facebook, Instagram, on social media in general, and very rudimentary, anybody who can't pass up taking a selfie at any time. And yes, that does look like it's an iPhone, at least the design of it looks that way, but it's done very well and it's pretty stylish and kind of a sign of the times. Now, perhaps one of my favorite parts of this piece is definitely in her legs. Again, not overly muscular, but just enough to make them look very powerful. Most importantly though, I absolutely love the way she's perched on that little ball. It looks really great, guys. And because of it, it gives it a wonderful sense of verticality, but not only that, a very commanding presence. Just like the comics, her feet are very distinctive. I love the robin's egg blue that they used here, but most importantly, it's done in a subtle way, but yet draws your attention to this center part of the statue. And in that respect, it really emphasizes the color palette because those blue accents look really awesome on this statue. Now, one of the other great things about this piece is that you have a little bit of variety in which to display it. It comes with an alternate hand in which you can actually shoot out a web. I like the fact that it's a little bit clear and you can see through it, and it simulates the web slinging very well. It's actually pretty cool. And at this price point, I'm glad that we got an alternate way to display the piece, because this is higher end on the collecting scale. But I'll be honest with you guys, an hour before I started filming this, I kept swapping out hands. I couldn't figure out which one that I liked the most. So that's kind of a dilemma that you guys are going to have to decide on. Okay guys, so I'm just going to put this out there. It is an absolute crime if you do not mirror this statue. And in fact, I will go so far as to say if you don't mirror this statue, you don't deserve to have it. Because the reverse side of this piece is absolutely outstanding. Not only can you really see the angle of the selfie that she's taking, but look at the reverse side of the hood. It is so awesome. Especially the backside. Obviously, when you're crouching like this, you see a lot more detail for obvious reasons, but it is so cool, guys. The level of detail on the reverse side of this piece is extraordinary, so you definitely gotta mirror this one. And of course, there's the outstandingly beautiful base. Now, I have to separate this one into 2 sections. It is that important to talk about. Now, first of all, just take a look at this, guys. I absolutely love how this came out, and I know that it is polystone, but it looks like actual iron or even metal. This is fantastic. Now, here's the great thing about it, is that they did an excellent level of oxidation on this. I mean, it is comparable to a statue that you would see on the street. It's so well done. Now, here's the bottom of the base. Now, here's where you really see a lot of detail, guys. Excellent the way they did this. Again, you have that great oxidation. offset against her backpack, which looks really cool, and then of course you have her drumsticks. And the bottom of the vase is probably one of the most impressive things. It's very simple, but it makes such a huge statement, guys. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, and the other cool thing is that these are actually numbered pieces. I have number 315 out of 500. Guys, I kind of knew this going into this review, but this is definitely a holy grail piece. It is something that you must own, must have in your collection. It is completely awesome. Now, before I go, I just want to send a real special shout out to the folks over at Mondo and Big Bad Toy Store for sending this wonderful piece over for a review. And if you're interested in this and other collectibles, please visit www.bigbadtoystore.com. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Mondo's version of Spider-Gwen. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.